Okay, email. How many of you send emails?
Oh, everybody.
Everybody. What kind of email do you have? Do you have a program? Do you have software on your computer? Or do you go to a website and get your email that way?
Software is web.
Software? Okay, what, if you said software, do you know the program that you're using?
Outlook.
Okay, these are the choices. If you have Windows XP, it comes with Outlook Express. That's the name of the program, the name of the icon that you click on to look at your email. If you have Vista, it's called Windows Mail. Same idea. If you paid Microsoft for MS Office, you may have Outlook. Not the Express, the light version, but the full-blown Outlook. It not only does email, but keeps track of your contacts, your to-do list, a bunch of other functions. This is a full-blown contact management system for a business user, but a very nice program. Thunderbird is from Mozilla. Where did we hear Mozilla a little while ago? Firefox. Same company. They have an email software. And Eudora is another one. There's probably other ones. Anything that's not on this list as far as a software for email? Okay, email is delivered to your computer. So when you say get my mail, Cable One, for example, delivers all of your email to that computer, okay? And the trick to that, so this was very functional or helpful when we had dial-up. You could say, okay, get all my email, and then you could disconnect from dial-up, and then you could respond to all your emails, and then you could connect, and it would send all of your emails. So this was a really nice capability back then. It's still valuable for organization of your contacts and things like that. But you're kind of limited, and what I find is people say, well, I want to get my emails on this computer and I want to get it on this computer. Well, as soon as you get the email delivered to one computer, this computer says, send me my email, and they say, we got nothing for you. The email has been delivered from the post office, wherever your email account is, down to that first computer, and you can't receive it on the second computer. So how can we see our email but leave it at the post office, for example? Not perfect, but webmail. Right. Hotmail, MSN, Gmail, Yahoo, all of these services, including your internet service provider, Cable One or ComSpeed, you can go to their website and you can see your emails, and you're leaving them on ComSpeed, you're leaving them on Gmail. So now I can go to my friend's house and I can go to his computer and I can log on to my email, and exactly the same. It's exactly the same emails are there, exactly the way that I left it. Go ahead.
You can't go back and see previous email though, can you? It's only current email that you haven't looked at or that just come in.
On webmail, if you're only using webmail, you're not mixing that with Outlook Express, you're only using webmail, when you log off and then log on, it'll be exactly the same. This old mails will be there, the new mails that have come in will be there. You log off of that one, there was 5 new emails on this new one and 20 old mails. I log off of that computer and I come over to this computer, 5 new ones, 20 old ones. It's going to be identical. That's the beauty of the webmail, is the mail is actually kept out on the internet somewhere, and you're accessing it there rather than bringing it down to your computer. So how many people are using some type of web mail? You go to a website to get your email, okay? And so what you're doing is you're going through your browser, you're typing in a web address, just like you're going to a website. I'm going to the Washington Post, I'm going to Google, I'm going to CNN. In this case, I went to mail.google.com and I logged in with my password, and here's all of my emails. Hopefully nothing bad in there. Well, we'll see. Rusty Cowgirls, what's that? Okay. Anyway, all of your email is available here, and now I can go to Hawaii, and I can go to an internet cafe, and I can go to mail.google.com, and I put in my username and password, and this will come up with all this email. It might look a little different because this is kind of a color scheme that I added to it, but anyway, all my emails would be there, and all my new emails would be there as well. So the advantage of webmail is the flexibility of any computer anywhere in the world. I can see my emails, receive them and send them. Phil?
The other advantage being you come over to my house without your computer, you can check your emails.
Right.
And I don't have any record of them on my computer.
That's a good
Can
point.
you delete?
Yes, you can,
If I'm at his house, I can delete my emails at home, and they won't show up again?
well, see, that's the trick. They're not at home. They're at,
No, I'm saying the
Hotmail.
computer is at home.
right.
They're on that computer, but I'm using his, and I wanna delete certain things and not look at it again.
So
So
whatever,
then when I go back home, will they,
they are deleted
okay,
and they won't be back when you go home.
good.
I mean, it will be consistent, it'll be repeatable, it'll be what you expect. What you saw the last time, no matter where you saw it, will be what you see the next time, wherever you are at that point. So, plus any new ones,
So,
Yep.
so why would you use Outlook or Outlook Express? Why wouldn't you always just
Well,
go with this?
The software typically will give you some additional capabilities, like perhaps setting up a mailing list where you want to send a mailing list. Typically you can do it in this, but some people find it a little more difficult to set up their contacts and their mailing list through a webmail interface. It's all possible, I would say. Trying to figure out what the advantages of software. And yeah,
I
go
use
ahead.
Outlook a lot, and Outlook is a combination, as Bob was saying, of calendar, task system. You know, you can set up your tasks, you can set up your appointments, you can set up your contact list, and you can have email, and they're interconnected. So if I get an email from Bob that says, meet me Friday, I can drag that to my calendar onto Friday. From then on, every time I get to Friday, it'll start showing me. You don't have that exact flexibility on a webmail yet, although Yahoo already has a calendar that you can drag things to. So I think the trend is that webmail will gradually displace on computer mail. If you are fixated on having the information on my computer, then of course Outlook or Outlook Express is your thing. If you are flexible enough to be comfortable with the fact that your email is not on your computer, it's on some computer over there, and if you get inside information as to when General Motors is going to get out of bankruptcy, you may not want that on the website. You may want that on your computer. When you find out, let me know.
Okay, well, isn't your emails stored on this remote computers secure?
It's secure, but you're depending on that computer now. Google went down a few weeks ago for 15 hours. You could not access your mail. Your computer can go down too.
Right.
More frequently than Google.
That would be another difference. If I have downloaded, I've changed the screen now, this is Outlook Express, and you can see all my emails and a preview of an email, all my folders over here. So even the interface or the look of it is similar. You can see new emails coming in here and things like that. If my hard drive crashes, and I've downloaded all my emails, and I'm storing all my emails, my thousands of emails, I've lost all of that information. Now, some of these webmails have so much storage that you could keep years of emails online, you know, on Gmail or something like that. So it's harder and harder to make a case for Outlook Express, but Outlook, because it gives you email and so much more, that for a business person might be a good reason.
Sure.
Dave?
Can you view old deleted files, old deleted mail, and sent mail on Gmail?
On Gmail, does anybody know offhand? Sent mail is here, I can see that. And stuff that I've trash, you could see your trash until you empty the trash, of course. So yes, you can do all of those things that you would normally want to do. Yes?
My email address is yahoo.com.
Okay.
So if I go to California and I'm at my daughter's house, what do I type in to bring up my email?
It's the same thing that you type in at home.
At home, I just hit my icon.
Right. So what it would do, it would when you got to yahoo.com, it would look like this. You would click on mail over here, and it's going to say, okay, what is your Yahoo ID, which is the first part of your address. That's mine, and then your secret password, which is,
Secret.
I can't type and think at the same time, but it's all dots. Yours is the same, Andy, all dots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, and then as soon as I enter that information, so you need to know your username and your password, and if you take that information to your daughter's house, you can get the information. I don't know what this, show me later, okay. All right, and then it brings you up to that page, and then the inbox, and who knows what kind of junk mail I got in here, but, all right. I knew. You want to see what that is? I don't. Let's not go there.
There's also, even if you don't use a webmail, there's a website you can go to get your email anywhere in the world. Mail2web.com.
Okay.
M-A-I-L to web.com. Do the same thing. Get your email anywhere in the world.
All one word?
Yes, no spaces.
Well, this anywhere in the world can be tricky. I was in Iran and they had a keyboard with the Iranian characters. I didn't know what to do.
That would be a problem.
I couldn't read it.
Yep. Okay. So the beauty of webmail, it's kind of portable. You can think of it as portable. No matter where you are, you can log in and you can see your email, your Yahoo account, your Gmail account, your Cable One account, with the emails that you've received at that, up to that moment.
Is webmail.com the same as ISP webmail? I've always I didn't know that, if I have a Eudora account, which I do.
Yep.
And
So-
nobody understands Eudora, so I don't know.
Right, so
why
you're
I have
using
it,
some
but nobody
software.
understands it, and I can't get onto it from almost anywhere, when everybody else can get onto their Yahoo and their
Right.
Windows and stuff. Nobody can figure out Eudora, so if I go to webmail.com, that's the only way I know how to get into my mail. Should I be using ISP web?
Okay, but what is your email address? What's the last part of your email address?
Comcast.
Comcast, okay. So you can go to the Comcast website and you could see if you use their webmail, you could see your email.
So just go into comcast.com?
Yeah, probably, I'm going to cheat and I'm going to search Comcast webmail and see what happens.
It's almost like they don't recognize Eudora.
Okay. So you were with Comcast before you moved to this area, and they're still doing your email for you, so check your messages. So just as we did with Yahoo, just as we did with Gmail, it's going to ask what's your username and what's your password. Now here, you've got a tricky situation. If your computer is on at home with Eudora, and you say check my mail, all of your Comcast email is going to be delivered to the computer.
Right.
Now you go to your friend's house and you type in Comcast webmail and you say, show me my email. There will be nothing in there unless a new mail has arrived since the computer delivered all the mail. If something new came in, you would see it on the next computer, but everything else you wouldn't see.
Right, I can't get back to old mail.
Right, because the email has been delivered to that computer using Eudora. Eudora grabs it and brings it into the computer and says, Comcast, okay, now you're empty, Comcast, until the next email comes in. So the trick is if you travel and your computer at home is on, every 30 minutes, it will go to Comcast and say, do you have any new email? Do you have any new email? Then you log on to Comcast and there's nothing there. And maybe you see some stuff there, and then next time you log in, it's gone because it's getting delivered to that computer. So this is the trick and the difference between software on your computer and going to a website and getting your email. So you might want to shut off Eudora, you might want to shut off your computer when you're traveling, but you would still, it would only give you mail from the time you shut off the computer forward. But at least you would have that ability, and you could send emails and everything while you're traveling. And then all the emails that you've built up, there's 30 emails that you build up while you're traveling. When you come home and turn on your computer, what's going to happen? 30 emails are going to get delivered to the computer at home.
Right.
Right? Okay. Andy?
In Outlook and in Outlook Express, there's an option that you can set that says, delete my email on the server after I have downloaded it, or do not delete the email on my server as I download it. So you can tell the computer that you're working on at home not to delete the email on the server. I do that because I have a laptop and a desktop. When I read my email on the desktop, I want to delete it after I've read it on the server. If I read it from my laptop, I want it to remain on the server so that I can put it on my desktop, which is where my main file is with all my emails. My laptop doesn't have the files in it, and I don't want them there. So there is an option, at least I know in Outlook and Outlook Express, I don't know about Eudora, where you can indicate whether you want the emails on your servers deleted after you have read them or not. So you can set that option.
Now, the reason I didn't bring that up because I'm now confused, even though I know everything that he just said. Now you're saying that I can do it both ways, and now I'm confused. I would like you to think that if you have software like Eudora, like Outlook Express, the mail's getting delivered to your computer, and you can't go back in history and see it when you go to their website. Webmail, it's going to be consistent from computer to computer to computer. Every place you look at it, you'll see the same thing.
Are any one of those websites more secure than the other?
No, I wouldn't say that. Your password is going to be your main thing for security, and you don't want a simple password that's a dictionary word. You want a mixture of upper and lowercase letters, and you want to have numbers and letters as well in some kind of convoluted system. That will be your best security for the webmail, is having a really strong password. Let me go back here and close this out. But yeah, Andy is absolutely right, and it's a lot to think about. Email tasks: receiving email, composing and sending email, the address book, and then sending photos or attachments, and then links, sending and receiving links in your email. So we can show both, but I'd like to focus on one or the other. Should we look at software for checking email, or should we look at a website type of email? I know either way. Website over here. Website. Okay, let's try doing the website. So with where did Google go? Gmail go? How did I get two of them? Here we go. I ended up with two screens here. All right. So basically, when I open up my Gmail account,
What does G stand for?
Google.
Oh,
Google
that's what
Mail.
I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something that is provided by Google, right? First, I'm going to sign out. So this is how you would approach it. I'm going into Gmail for the very first time today, and it wants me to fill in my username and password. Now, I'm significantly lazy, so down here at the bottom I have something called RoboForm, and if I click on this button that says Fill and Submit, it'll fill in that information for me so I don't have to type it in every time. Now, you don't want to get your laptop stolen because the next person would be able to use all your passwords. There is a way to put a password on top of it so that, but okay, now I've logged in with my website address, my email address, rlsconsulting@gmail.com, and here's the list of all of my emails. So I don't have to do anything to get email. I mean, as soon as I go here, this shows me the latest emails. If I was going to send an email, in Gmail it's Compose Mail up here on the left, and I left click on that, and then it says, well, who are you going to send this email out to? So I just start typing, and if it knows, if it's already somebody in my address book, it'll give me those choices. So I'm actually going to send a test to myself, and this is my test. So I put in a subject for my email, I fill in some body of information here, and I can send this out to, in this case myself. I can send it to more than one person. Just by putting a comma here, I can send it to somebody else. And this is my parents, so I'll send this email to my parents as well. So the address book is very valuable because it keeps track of people that you have sent mail to in the past, and makes it very easy for remembering their email addresses, because, you know, I couldn't memorize the email addresses for everybody that I know. Now in Gmail, which is web-based mail, the way that we attach a file or a photo is right here. Attach a file right in the center of the screen. And when I click on that with a left click, then it brings up a little window that allows me to browse my hard drive, browse my computer, look at the files on my computer. So let's look in, it wasn't terrible, but let's look at my pictures here. And there's Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was even a cuter one, wasn't it? I'll show you that one. Okay, so I clicked on the file and then I said OK, and now it's showing me that I've attached a picture to this email, right? I can attach another file. This is a cute one here. That's me with my mom. So now, by just clicking on that one, now it says I'm going to send this email with these two different files attached to it. So, everybody okay with attaching files to an email? All right. So, if you look at this, you see the little paper clip? All right. I'm going to switch now to a software program called Outlook Express that is also used for sending emails. If I switch it correctly here, which I'm not doing. There we go. Over here, instead of compose mail, it's create a mail, but the paper clip is the same. Right here, see the paper clip? So I click on attach, and I go to my my pictures, and I go to my pictures and double click on it, and right now it's showing me when I send this email, it's going to attach this file to the email. So very similar operations whether you're using software or web-based mail.
In our photo class, he was saying something about the size of the photo, you should reduce it or something. How do we do that with this?
There's a variety of different ways with that. Typically what you're going to do is you're going to resize the picture before you attach it to the email. And Phil, I'm gonna get stuck here because because there's a different way for a lot of different computers. I can show you one way to do it. All right. So one of my this is Chicago at night from 36,000 feet. Okay. And that is 635 kilobytes. It's a rather, large file. And I have downloaded a little utility that allows me to resize pictures within Windows, within the Windows operating system. It's something from Microsoft. And what I did is I clicked on that picture, and I'm going to resize it. Unless you've put this tool into your computer, you might not have it. So that's what I mean. You may have a photo editing program that would allow you to do it.
But you do have Send To.
Send To, okay.
Try that.
Want to do that? Okay.
Try that.
All right. Phil is giving me good direction here. Chicago at night. I'm going to right-click on Chicago at night, and I'm going to send to
Everybody's got that.
mail recipient.
Exactly.
Okay. Now the trick is webmail.
It's okay. Well, it'll do your default. I don't
Okay.
know what it does with webmail, to tell you the truth.
All right. All right. This primarily is going to work if you're using software like Outlook, Outlook Express, Eudora. This will work better in that situation. All right. But I went to Send To and Mail Recipient, and it says, and Windows actually says, well, this is a big picture. Do you want to make it smaller before you send it? All right, and I say yes and okay, and the trick here is Outlook Express will immediately pop up, ready to send my email. With Chicago at night, it's only 52K. On the computer, it was 600K. So this is a much smaller file and much more appropriate for emailing. It's not too big, like you said.
Now, when
All
it
right.
arrives at the person you send it to, is it expanded again, or do they have to do that?
It'll be a small size, just like you sent.
Okay, I'm going to send that file to rlsconsulting@gmail.com, and as long as we can send and receive emails here. Now, I'm connected to the internet through through here. Why wouldn't that send? I'm connected through the college, and maybe the college is blocking some things so that we don't get ourselves in trouble here. It looks like I can receive mails, but I can't send. Okay, so here's Gmail, and switching back to webmail, and I'm back to Gmail and my webmail, and I've got two pictures that I'm going to send. The subject is test, and I just typed "this is my test" in here, and my parents are going to get a copy and wonder what's going on here. But I just clicked on send, and it's sending the email, and then boom. Since I sent it to myself in Gmail, as soon as it came back, the email's already arrived. It's already been delivered here. This is a brand new email from me, and the subject is test. This is my test, and I can see the two pictures that I attached, right? And this is kind of a preview. If I view the picture, I think I'll get a little bit bigger version of it here.
Yeah.
Right? So isn't that cute?
You were so cute.
That's right. That's right. I don't know what happened, but that's how I started. All right. Is everybody comfortable with attaching a file to an email? Your program, your software may be a little different. Look for the paperclip. The paperclip seems to be consistent as far as attaching files.
In Gmail, it displayed the pictures immediately. In some of the other programs, you just get the clip with the name of the file, and you got to use another program to look at it.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
Depending if you have a program.
Yeah. So that is a trick. Dave?
What's the name of that little utility you mentioned for resizing?
To resize the photos, it's Photo Resizer. It's on Microsoft.
It's Microsoft Power Toy.
Yeah.
Is it power? Okay.
So you download it from Microsoft.com website under downloads.
Toys. I think that's Dave, do you know what you need? I don't want to go into that because I think that'll throw the class if we get into downloading software, installing it on your computer and everything. I don't want to go there. But if anybody is really interested, Microsoft Power Tools. All right, but that's as far as we're going to go. Tools. And receive, compose and send, address book, sending photos, links. You can also put in an email a link to any web page that you particularly are interested in. I'm going to open up a second window by clicking on my little box there. I can open up a separate tab or a separate window and go to, let's say I want to see the Prescott Computer Society, and I want to see who's up for election, right? For the these are the people that are up for election this year.
Great shot of Herman.
Yeah. Herman has no photo available, and Bob is some type of convict. And I'm not sure what number. So you can see that they're kind of a fun group. What I do is I copy right up here in the address bar where the website address is. I can copy that by highlighting it and selecting it and then copy. Does everybody know that you can copy by doing Control-C on your keyboard? Okay.
Yeah,
we talked about that. And then I switch back over to my Gmail. I'm going to send an email to myself, and just whatever subject, any subject. In the body, I can do a paste and paste that link into my email. And then when I send it to myself, it will actually be a clickable link. The recipient can just click on it, and they'll go exactly to that same page. All right, see the link? I click on that, something will happen. The elections page right there. All right. So any web page that you can find, you can copy the link, send it to somebody else and through email. And then when they receive it, all they have to do is click on it, and it'll open that page up for them. So how are we doing on emails? More questions about emails?
Why don't you attach a big file to an email and then display it when you receive it, and it overflows the edges of the screen? Then how do you,
Okay.
this
So,
has been asked several times.
okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to compose an email to myself, and I'm going to send that Chicago at Night, Chi-Town. That was a very big file, and if I can remember where I had it, I think it was in this one. Let's see if I hit C. Oh, nice, look at that, Carmen Electra. Okay, let's skip that page. There we go, Chicago at Night from 36,000 feet. Okay, 600K, and it's a lot of pixels. I mean, it's a big file, and then I send that with without text in the body. I could put some text in there, but the main thing is we're sending a picture, a large picture, so we don't need to do that. It immediately comes back to me because Gmail is pretty fast. It gives me the preview, but then when I view it, let's see what happens.
Some programs adjust it.
Maybe that's as big as that picture is. Maybe it isn't any larger than that, because that appears to be the full image. So the cameras are getting more and more capable and getting a picture with more and more detail, more and more pixels. And so since your screen can only display a certain number of pixels, you could get a picture that is this big that you're trying to look at this big. And the nice thing about the way Gmail does it is that it shows you in a browser, so it's pretty easy to move around and look at the whole picture. I don't know if I have a bigger image than that on the computer right now. So let's keep moving forward here. All right, searching for information on the internet. We actually already started talking about that and doing that a little bit. But besides these other main search places, each of these is a website. Google is a website. It's a search engine website that helps you find other websites. So that's the difference between your browser software on your computer. Google is a website just like any other one. Yahoo, MSN, Ask, AOL. What other search features do you use? What other websites do you go to find information?
Dogpile.
Dogpile. Interesting. Okay. Dogpile. Great. What do you search for? These are some things. What kind of information do you go out on the internet to look up? Anything I missed up there? The weather? See what the weather's going to be this week or over the weekend?
Word definitions.
Word definitions, nice.
Sometimes I run across a word I don't know, and I just put in define, colon, and the word, and it comes back with a definition for
Very
me.
nice. Very nice. Now I do it for spelling. I know how to spell a word, but I don't know it exactly, and I'll try the search engine to see if it'll recommend the correct spelling.
Yeah.
How about personal favorite websites? Any particular websites that you like to visit that you want to let us know about? Charts for stock quotes and things. Financial stuff. Yep, absolutely. Bloomberg. So yeah, definitely keeping track of your money now would be a very important thing to do. There are tons of sites. I mean, there's Yahoo Finance. There's just about every kind of website that you would want, talking about the current stock quotes, being able to trade stocks with E-Trade and other stock trading sites. How about eBay? Anybody still surfing and looking for stuff on eBay, looking for antiques or looking for some reason eBay has really died down. I don't know why exactly. Craigslist, okay, maybe. So
in the news lately about certain things.
yeah.
Phil just referred to something really quick, and I don't want to let that escape. He said something colon, what did you say?
Oh, if I want a definition of a word, in Google I just type in define, colon, no space, and the word.
If you want to look for only a specific site, you can say the name of the site, colon, and then what you're looking for. And only look at that site. For example, I often use Wikipedia for a simple definition of a concept or a building or something. So if you say Wikipedia, colon, Notre Dame, it will only bring up the Notre Dame Cathedral on Wikipedia, which is a very nice, simple, straightforward introduction to that particular idea.
is actually the Wikipedia website. It's an encyclopedia online, and over on the left side is where you can search and put the particular, I'll just put in Prescott, and so they came up with a bunch of people that have Prescott places, Prescott, Ontario, Prescott Island in Canada, Prescott, Arizona, and Prescott College, Prescott, Arkansas, Iowa, Kansas. I didn't know there were so many Prescotts. I knew there was more than one. I didn't know there was that many.
Everybody always thinks that they're unique.
Yeah. And then when I go to Prescott, Arizona, as an encyclopedia, they give you all the encyclopedia information about Prescott. And then they have a table of contents here, so you can immediately jump down and take a look at the climate, for example, and a picture of Thumb Butte. So the Wikipedia is an online encyclopedia and a tremendous, tremendous resource. And you said you can actually type the website address, a colon, and then the thing you're looking for.
You just need to say Wikipedia,
Wikipedia.
colon, and then whatever you're looking for.
Okay. Very good. Very good.
If you're looking for a book, naturally you would look Amazon, colon, the name of the book.
Now, let me see if I can expand on that even. There's a website out there called bestwebbuys.com. And if you search for a book here, it will actually tell you if you went to Amazon it would cost this much. If you went somewhere else it would cost this much, right? And here is the first course in algebra, abstract algebra, 7th edition. And down here it shows you all the different places that you can buy that book and all the different prices. And you can put in your zip code, and then it'll tell you, even with shipping, here's the best place to buy the book. So I'm going to use Prescott Valley, because that's where I'm at, 86314. And now all of my shipping charges will be based on Prescott Valley for this book. And the cheapest place to buy this one is through eBay. If I bought it through Amazon, I'd actually pay $98 instead of $34 through eBay. eBay's a little iffy though, depends on the seller, you know. So, but I could buy it from CHEGG, don't even know what that is, and pay it only $45 for it. So that's called bestwebbuys.com. And
What do you do for spelling, particularly if you don't know how to spell the word?
you take a shot at it. I would say you take a shot at it, what you think the spelling is, and then hopefully you're close enough that Google can figure it out for you.
And then what do you put after that? You just say spelling, colon, the word?
I would just type the word in.
No, it says, did you mean, and it will give you the correct spelling.
What you mean, and it'll suggest some other things.
So,
Just put the word in and hit search?
yes,
Say
Yeah.
a little prayer.
and it will take a shot. It might not be the best way to do it, but that's
There's not a spelling site that you go to, that's what I was looking
well, there are dictionary, Merriam-Webster dictionary. If we
Dictionary sites?
let's see, I'll just type in dictionary, and that will search Google for dictionary websites. Dictionary.com, Merriam-Webster.com, yourdictionary.com. There it goes. Right on time.
You almost lasted.
Got a little more water.
You almost made it.
Anyway, sorry about that. The other site I want to show you is Deal News. Deal News also does the same thing as they search for deals on the internet for a lot of different products. I use this for searching for computer products, but today's hottest deals, you can get into all different kinds of categories of product. So if you're looking, I don't know, for a digital camera or something like that, computers, electronics, if you're looking for a television, a 47-inch television or something like that, they'd actually show you widescreen LCD, Harmony remote. They will show you all of the different, I guess, is it part of video
Go up
components?
about 6
Did I miss it?
televisions itself.
Oh
is
yeah,
right there.
thank you. So it was right there, I couldn't see it for some reason. Okay, televisions, and then under televisions, LCD, plasma, projection TVs, so we can go into LCD TVs, then we can go into, what'd I say, 36 inch? So 37, 32, 37, let's just say 37 because they've got a button to click there. These are the best recent deals for a 37-inch TV, and these are from different, different companies that are offering this. Tiger Direct, actually Tiger Direct seems to have a lot of good deals. Overstock.com. So this website, Deal News, grabs the deals out on the internet and kind of brings them all together so you can look for whatever you're looking for and find the best deal on it.
Does it really work good for flights?
For flights, there's a bunch of stuff for, this is more for product, for, I believe it's called kayak.com is one of the places that will allow you to do flight searches and look for different prices. But there's a lot of aggregators like this. Priceline.com.
Fly Europe.
Fly Europe, okay. What was it? Is there Hotwire or something like that?
Hotels.com. But I learned the hard way, if you make a reservation in hotels.com, you get a great deal. But if you want to cancel it, they charge you $25.
So there's a trade-off there for sure.
Just like anything else.
And with Priceline, you say, I want to go from here to here, and I guess you choose the day, but they don't let you, for the best price, you don't choose your time. So you might end up on a red-eye flight or something like that. So you might get a great price, but you might be up at 3 in the morning in some odd airport, and you might have to fly to Atlanta to get to Pennsylvania or something like that. So be careful with some of those things. But if you want the best price, that might be a good way to go. So how are we doing? Control address bar and search bar. We talked about the control enter, bookmarks. Yeah, I think we covered all of that. Yep. Specialized websites. YouTube. YouTube is a great place for videos. Could be educational videos on a particular topic that you're interested in. A music video or different things like that. That's more, the younger generation is really into video on the internet. And so you can find a lot of stuff, good stuff, bad stuff. You can find a lot of stuff out there on the internet.
Could you tell us something about Twitter? I
Twitter.
keep hearing about that and I don't know anything about it.
Twitter is like instant messaging it would be, instant messaging is like an email that goes directly from one person to the other person's computer, right? Computer to computer. Twitter is actually the same idea, but it goes through a cell phone. You can actually say, I'm at the bank, and send it, and it will send out to all of your friends can say, okay, Bob's at the bank. And it doesn't make any sense to our generation, but the younger generation thinks that it's great that I can know where all my friends are. I can send them little messages. They just beep, 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 beep back and forth to each other all day of, I'm eating breakfast.
Well, is it my subscription?
Twitter is actually a free website service.
Because on the Diane Rehm show on NPR.
Oh my gosh, they're talking about it?
Send this message on Twitter.
Yep. Yep, that's pretty good. I think it's a capability that doesn't have a use. I mean, it's technically possible, but why? But it's going to be figured out. It's really growing tremendously fast right now. It's really the hot new thing. But when you send a message, when you send a little note about what you're doing, it's limited to like 145 characters. It's not even, it's like one sentence is all you can send. But of course you can send, several of them in a row or whatever.
They have a name for that. It's called technological exhibitionism.
There you go. So, Twitter in plain English. And I don't have the speakers hooked up to this one, do I? All right. Check this video out on the twitter.com website to get a little more information about what it's for. But it's really one sentence messages to anybody that you want to send, keep up to date of what you're doing. Washing the dog.
I'm
just
sorry
so that,
I asked.
Yeah.
Something that's a little more relevant to us perhaps is a site called Facebook. You may have heard of that. I got a message from my stepson. I have half a dozen pictures on Facebook that you can look at if you want to.
Uh-huh.
It took me about half an hour to log in because I had to provide all sorts of information. And I understand if you put your age over 50, nobody calls you anymore. But I did see his pictures. So that's a site where you can share pictures with your family, and it's password protected, so you can restrict access to it to just the people that you want these pictures to be seen. There are a lot of other sites like that. We have about 12 minutes. Shall we just take questions and see if,
I do have some more information to cover, but if you do have questions.
Avoiding bad sites is good
why don't
to
you
know.
finish up?
Okay.
To know about that.
Avoiding bad sites. So there's certainly a darker side to the internet. There's websites that are for gambling. There's websites for other vices that that people would not necessarily want to visit, but might end up there by accident. So typically what will happen is you might get an email saying, what did it say, last all night? In your Yahoo account, and imagine that they would have a link to go to their website that might be talking about selling some prescription drugs or something like that. You can actually use a service called OpenDNS that will block those types of sites by category. Okay, and you can actually set the sites that you can visit and the sites that you're not going to visit. So let's see. Let's see if I set this up correctly. Nope, I did not. Never mind. What's the other one? All right, we better leave this page pretty quickly here. So the OpenDNS service would allow you to block certain categories of sites, and you could do it for your computer, or you could do it for your whole network of computers. All right, and so you sign up for an account with them, and then you use their service for looking up websites. And so these are all the different categories of sites that you can block. And you basically go in here and say, you know, I just want to block out a particular type of website. I've got all the bad ones, in my opinions, already blocked out. But you can block a whole category, like gambling websites. So I put in block gambling websites, and then I wanted to go to Bucky's Casino website for some reason, and it said no, we can't go there. Oh, it was Cliff Castle. Actually, it was Cliff Castle. I wanted to see if they had a performance up there. Some type of, and I couldn't go to the website. It came up with an error saying, no, you can't go to that website.
You can telephone.
Use the telephone, right?
Yeah, the old fast, really.
those still work?
Yeah.
There's other technology, honestly.
Gambling. See, I typed it wrong and still knew what I was going. CasinoGamblingWeb.com. Right? Okay, never mind. It's not working here. It's not going through the DNS service. Okay, there's a service you can set up, and you can block categories of website. It's not working for me here at the college. It's a free service. Yeah, you just sign up for it, and then you have to set up your computer to use the service. But they walk you through that. They have a really good tutorial that tells you how to do it. There's also something called a host file that's on your computer. It's a little advanced to get in there and start blocking websites using the host file. So just so you know, you could do some other blocking that way. But the reason we want to block certain websites is protect your computer. We don't want to get viruses, spyware, malware. Viruses come through email attachments, all right? And so, and that is kind of old technology now. They're not infecting computers as well through viruses because your internet service provider, your email carrier, is filtering those out and getting rid of them before they arrive on your computer. And most of us have some type of antivirus software on our computer anyway. If something did get through, we'd be protected. But anti-spyware or malware is going to websites, particularly not Facebook, but MySpace was particularly an area where kids would go and share information about themselves, but it was an area where there was a lot of spyware. people would put stuff, bad stuff that could infect your computer on their MySpace webpage. And then just by visiting their website, you could get something on your computer. And unfortunately, particularly with Internet Explorer as your browser, there were ways that they could exploit that and put something into your computer. One of the things that you want to do is have a firewall blocking things from coming into your computer. If you just have one computer and you're hooked up using you're one half of a step in front of me. If you have one computer hooked up to your modem, this computer is hooked up directly to the internet, okay? And you would need some type of firewall software to block people trying to come into your computer from the internet. If you have multiple computers and you're using a router, the router actually creates a secondary network, and the router blocks things automatically as your firewall. So if you have this, you have a double protection. And even if you only have one computer, it might be worthwhile to buy a router and have it connected here, and to get that added level of protection where the bad guys out on the internet just can't attach directly to your computer. So a firewall is something else that you want to make sure that you have set up on your computer. The firewall, using a router like that or using some type of software. How many have maybe Norton or McAfee, some type of software like that? That software includes a firewall, so you guys are all protected. Don't worry about that. Make sure your software is up to date. Windows updates, we talked about that. The software is so complex that what happens is there seems to be a way that you can always figure out, well, if I do this and this and this, and just in this way, I can break it, I can make it do something that they didn't intend it to do when they wrote it. They figure a way around, they jump over the fence, whatever it is, it's a way that they can get into. So you want to make sure that your software is up to date, particularly your Windows operating system, particularly your browser software, because that's facing the internet. Make sure you're using really good passwords, and I talked about that. Upper and lower case, letters and numbers. Make it as complicated as possible. There's a website called GRC, and they have passwords. The website is grc.com/passwords.htm. And every time you load this page, you'll get a different set of passwords in this area of the page. This one right here is 63 random alphanumeric characters, letters and numbers, capital and the small case. So you could copy this to your computer, and then you could just, on one website, you could use that as your password, and somewhere else you could use that. Or you just load the page again, and you get a completely new set of 63 characters. This is a completely different setup right there. So use as many characters. If it says you can have a password up to 14 characters, why not use all 14 of them? That you're securing yourself and you're protecting yourself that way. Of course, then you have to remember that password.
Yes.
So you have to have a system for that. And RoboForm is one way that is a software that will remember all your passwords for you. So once you get into that level, it'd probably be worthwhile to have some way to keep all that.
Don't have a file on your computer. These are my passwords. The first thing a hacker will look for is that.
Yeah.
If you can encrypt your passwords and then hide them that way.
How
Yep.
many passwords should you have? How many different passwords?
If you had one high secure gobbledygook password,
Yeah.
you'd be safe and you could use it in multiple places. What I find is some places they need, it has to be more than 8 characters, or it can't be